Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining for our tour today. So I have noon Central Time. I'm here in Kansas City, so that is the time zone for me. So we will go ahead and get started. My name is Hope Newport. I am the Family Services Manager here at the International FOP Association, and I'm so excited to welcome all of you to this pre-event virtual environment tour. It's the first real step to starting off our weekend together. And so we'll go ahead and get started. If you are a participant in this tour who needs translation services, these are the instructions to go ahead and turn those on. So you should see a live custom streaming and at the top of your screen, you're going to click on view stream and custom live streaming service. And then you're going to select your language, and you can also select a voice if you'd like audio translations. So I do have the instructions to this posted in the chat box. And so if someone is joining late, they'll be able to see it there as well. Or if I move on and you haven't quite got it set up yet, feel free to click on the link in chat to do that as well. So let's go ahead and get started. I am going to pull up the environment for everyone, and I'm just going to walk you all through what our virtual family gathering is going to look like this year. So a couple of important things that I wanted to note before we get started diving through the different areas is that on Thursday, you will all receive a link to be able to access this. So you have not been sent a link yet. This is not live to the community. I have access, but that is it. So on Thursday, you will all receive an email and you'll be able to log in at 5 p.m. Central Time on Thursday evening to just sort of learn your way around. So it's a different experience for many of us. I don't know, this is my first family gathering where I've used this kind of platform. So we wanted to give everyone a chance to kind of familiarize themselves with it before the event starts. There will be no activities going on Thursday night and no presentations accessible. It's really just a chance for you all to take a quick peek and start learning your way around. And so you'll see that my environment is all in English. I only speak English, so that's the most helpful version for me. But if you completed your registration form and shared that you needed translation services in either Chinese, simplified Dutch, French, German, Italian, Polish, Portuguese, Russian, or Spanish, this environment will be translated so that almost all of the text some of the text that is in like this graphic is not translated, but our banners have all been translated. This directory is translated, the navigation bar, and the majority of the resources available within the event are all going to be translated for you. So we'll talk about how you can adjust that setting in a little bit, but just wanted to let everyone know that this is what my screen looks like. It may look different for you if you speak another language. So we'll go ahead and just start by introducing the lobby. This is what everyone will see when they join the event. Some faces from the community here. Hopefully some of them are familiar to you. You'll see we have these banners here. These are just advertising different aspects of the family gathering, and you can click. Most of them are linked to bring you then to the fun zone, for example, to bring you directly to the fun zone booth. This is a welcome video that will play on day one for everyone from Michelle Davis, our executive director, and myself. And then this directory, which really just helps you be able to navigate to different areas. There is some messaging, some reminders that are going across the bottom, and then announcements, which will be time specific. They'll remind you that a specific session is about to start or specific community activities are about to begin. Those will pop up here in this right corner. And those will all be translated for you as well. So let's get started in the navigation bar by visiting the theater. So the theater is where all of our general session presentations are housed and where you will access them, as well as the small group discussion sessions that are taking place on Saturday afternoon. And so you can see that our agenda is sorted by day, and you can click on whichever event you'd like to attend. You can add a reminder so that you get an alert when that event comes up. you can view the speaker photo, bio, and any resources that they have uploaded. So on Saturday, for example, one event that will be taking place in the evening is our community social event, the Share Your Strength Talent Show. So this is actually hosted outside of this virtual event platform. It'll take place on Zoom because on Zoom we'll all have the opportunity to see and hear from one another. And so to access the link for any of the small group discussion sessions that are taking place on Saturday afternoon, or the social events, the community social events, you'll find those links here within the agenda. And once a talk is live, you will be able to click here to join the presentation. And then once the presentation has ended, within 1 hour of the completion of the presentation, a on-demand link will be available so that you can come back here and click to watch a presentation that's been recorded. One other really important point I wanted to raise in the theater is that you'll see in this corner, it says time displayed in Central Time for me, since I'm located here in Kansas City. And you can adjust this. So if you do not live in Kansas City or in the Central Time Zone, I would encourage you to adjust it so that it reflects your time zone and so that all of the talks are showing up at an accurate time for you. I would hate for someone to miss a presentation because it was in the wrong time zone. So make sure that you do adjust that once you've entered the environment. And that is something that will be saved so that the next time you come in, it'll already be set to your time zone. Let's see. So I think that is most of the aspects that I wanted to highlight from the agenda. It's just a good area for you to go in, and if you wanted to start build your agenda for the days, kind of add those reminders and just seeing what all is in store. This is of course available online as well, but this is where you will actually go to access those links. So moving on, we're going to look at the exhibit hall. So you'll see that we actually have 3 different exhibit halls. They are broken up sort of by categories of this first exhibit hall is our sponsors and IFOPA programs. This second exhibit hall is some community organizations that wanted to be a part of our family gathering. You'll see the 10 Soldiers booth is here. So one thing that's important to note is that the resources that are housed in all of these booths will be available for 1 year after the event ends. 10 Soldiers is the one exception to that. Their film will only be available throughout the weekend on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So if you want to have an opportunity to watch the film, I would encourage you to do that at their booth during the event. Outside of that, all of the resources that we have posted here, you'll be able to go back and read or access with it for 1 year after the event has ended. And I also wanted to point out the third exhibit hall, which is our different FOP national organizations. So we've had a number of different communities who have shared, resources that they've created or just interesting pieces of information from their organization for all of you to learn a little bit about how our FOP communities function across the world. One thing that I wanted to highlight is that, for example, if you come to the Resilient Living booth, you can see that I have different tabs here, and the tabs have different resources uploaded to them. So if you're visiting different exhibitor booths and you find a resource that you really like, you can open to download it, and you can also save it. So once you save it, it will be housed in your briefcase, which is sort of just your resource, your own private resource center for the event. So that's one important function to note, is that if you find something you're really excited about, go ahead and save it so that you can find it easily after the event has ended or later in the day. So moving on, we're going to go to the Resource Center, and this Resource Center is for the entire event. So you'll see here we have our virtual event tour. This tour will be linked. We'll have our translatable program guide, which is available on our website. So you can view, it will pull up the guide, the web page here, and you can go through and find any of the instructions that we posted here, and then a PDF version of that as well. There are different resources that are specific to the IFOPA. So we have some of our brochures uploaded here, different handouts that we've created and different programs that we have functioning, like the Ability Toolbox program. You can see we have some handouts for that here. And then these are all of the resources that are housed in the exhibit hall. So those, you can just come here to find them all in one central place and sort through them by title or just finding, searching out the ones that you're most interested in saving if you don't want to go to each individual booth. And then one very important tab in the Resource Center is our Family Gathering Survey. So we will be sending a reminder to all of you on the last day to complete this survey. It's a really important step for us to be able to learn and grow from this experience. Moving on, coming to a fun area, the lounge is a place for the community to come to connect. So here on the left, you'll see this panel. It will show everyone who's in the lounge. So right now I'm in here all by myself, but that's okay. I know you'll all be joining me soon. You can participate in the community chat here, and this chat will be translated. So if you speak English, you'll be able to understand, other English speakers. But if you speak Spanish, you will type in Spanish, and there will be a translated text for the English underneath your response for other English speaking attendees to be able to read. Or if someone spoke Spanish and you wanted to read it, their Spanish would come in on this top level, and then there would be a translated text for their Spanish in a translated English version of their comment underneath it. So that's a really great function that we're all able to connect and communicate regardless of what language we speak. This wall is a place for you to be able to post a photo. So we'll be doing several fun announcements that will pop up throughout the event, and they'll encourage you to share a picture of who you're watching the family gathering or who you're participating in the family gathering with. If you have a favorite family gathering snack, those sorts of things. And it doesn't have to be that. You can just post a photo in here of yourself having a great time attending one of the sessions. This is a fun area for attendees to be able to do that. And then here is our Facebook wall. So this will show the IFOPA's Facebook stream, and we'll be posting some content sort of highlighting different aspects of the event in here. So that's a great way to stay up to date as well. So moving on from the lounge, we're going to look at the games. This is a fun one for people to be able to kind of explore. There is a trivia challenge here. These are FOP focused community and IFOPA program questions. There is a puzzle here. So you'll see this first puzzle. It's tiny right now, but it is of our attendees at the 2019 FOP Family Gathering that took place last year in Orlando, Florida. So you'll be able to do this puzzle, and then once you've completed it, there are more pictures that you'll be able to puzzle and put together. And then lastly, there is a leaderboard here. So on the right, you'll see the different badges that we have set up for people to be able to earn points. So each of these have specific criteria you have to meet to earn this badge. And once you earn the badge, you get, you earn points. And based on the number of points you have, you will get a spot on the leaderboard. So for some of you who have a little bit of a competitive spirit, that can be a really fun way to bring that out and have fun in the event. Last, sort of in the personalizing and resources area, I wanted to go over our profile space. So this is what your profile tab will look like. And when you join the event, it will have your name and your email address. And those are the only two pieces of information other than your language from your registration form that are being fed directly into the environment and that other attendees would have access to see. So if you want to personalize and add any other information, you can do that. You can edit your photo here. And you can also adjust your language. So if you, when you completed your registration form, said that you needed translation services in Polish, when you enter the environment, your text and your translation will already be set to Polish. But if you also speak some French and you wanted to see a French environment, you would be able to change that by clicking there as well. And you can also set your default time zone in this area. Additionally, in the My Profile space, there is your message and chat boxes. So if you are sending a message or having a chat with someone, those will be housed here. And there is also your briefcase. So this was the resource that I downloaded from the Resilient Living booth. You can see that it's saved here, so I can easily download it to my computer if I want, or just so I can access it quickly throughout the event. So moving on, an important one for all of us is the help area. And so this is the designated help spot for any technology related questions you have about the event. So if you are having trouble getting something to load, if you're not able to access a link, anything like that, you will come here and this chat will be staffed. It is not staffed 24 hours on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. It's staffed during the times that we're using this virtual event platform. But if it is not staffed, there is also an email address that you can use to reach out to someone, or there will be an option for you to also contact the IFOPA staff. So our information will be listed in here as well. You can find some quick troubleshooting tips here about computer requirements to participate and some of their frequently asked questions. And then you'll also be able to find a recording of this tour and the program guides. So these are a little bit more specific to the event as a whole, not necessarily just the technical aspects, but there are some technical tips and pieces of information in here as well. So this is really predominantly for technical questions. If you have a question about a small group discussion session that you were planning to participate in, but that there's not a link available for, that is something that you'll contact the IFOPA about, and our contacts will be listed up here in a tab as well. And they're also available in the program guide. So this is just a really great area for you to go in and ask questions throughout the event if you have any technical issues that arise. So that is the quick recap of and tour of our virtual event. I was going to see if anyone had questions about a specific area that they were hoping to get a closer peek at. One thing that I will say is that if you haven't already, please go and read our program guide. So this guide really goes through all aspects of the family gathering. This tour was more focused on the virtual event because that's such a new experience for all of us. But as you can see here, we do have some small group discussion sessions taking place on Friday afternoon, Saturday morning, and then Saturday afternoon. And these small group discussion sessions are not hosted within this virtual event platform that we just saw. That is because the virtual event platform does not give us an opportunity to see each other face-to-face on video or through audio. It is all text chat, with the exception of our presenters who will be giving their presentations, of course. And so for these small group discussion sessions, we'll be doing those outside of the event on Zoom. So there's some really helpful information in this program guide about accessing those Zoom meetings and some helpful tips to use to help those experiences go smoothly. So I hope you'll all take a look at this if you haven't already. One other thing I did want to go over with all of you. So this is a highlight of what the webcast or the presentation room will look like for our session. So you can see here, FOP The Leaky Faucet by Dr. Kaplan. This is the first session of the family gathering that will start Friday morning. And a few things I wanted to point out. When you are watching a session, all of these windows are customizable. So you can scale, if you like to see Dr. Kaplan, in a larger frame, you can increase the size of this frame. You can decrease the size of the slides. And this box right here is a chat box. So it will give attendees the opportunity to chat with one another during the presentation. Those chats are translated. using Microsoft Translate. So it'll be the similar experience that you've all seen in the lounge. You can submit questions to presenters in this questions and answers tab. And then this third tab is our translation service. So you can click here on this Wordly that's circled in red, and you'll see this blue W pop up. This is where you will choose your language. And once there is live audio streaming, there will be a little microphone image. So you have the opportunity to also turn on the audio translation if you'd like. And when you turn that on, it will override or cut off the audio coming from Dr. Kaplan. So you'll be hearing, more of a computer generated audio as opposed to his presentation. So if you, you can of course still read the text translation that will all be populated in here of what he's saying. And then if you'd like to listen to the audio as well, that will be an option. So I know this is a little different. Many of us are used to Zoom meetings now where the presenter just screen shares, and this all looks a little bit different. And so just wanted to go over this with all of you and let you know that it's really a customizable experience. So you can shape windows to whatever size you'd like and really kind of make it your own. And then the mobile event experience will look a little bit different. So as you can imagine, it would be hard to cram everything that we just saw in the lobby into a small cell phone. So the mobile experience will look like this for attendees who are joining from a mobile device. They'll have all of the same functionalities with the exception of the games. So you'll notice there's no games here for you to be able to complete the trivia or the puzzle or the leaderboard badge from your phone. But you will have access to the theater. So this is what the theater will look like. You can select your day here and join sessions or watch on-demand recordings of sessions. You can still go to the exhibit hall. This is the welcome message in the exhibit hall that people will see some of the different booths. So the mobile experience is a little bit different. And one thing that's important to point out for our international attendees who do not speak English is that the translation, the blue Wordly box that we just looked at, is not compatible on a mobile device. So if you are joining from a mobile device and that is your only device, you don't have a desktop or laptop computer, my suggestion is to ask a friend or a family member if they will join with you. And there is a link in each session for them to be able to access the translations. So you'll be able to watch the video and see the slides from this player area of the theater, and they'll be able to, on their phone, log in and click on the link for translations. That is just in the abstract sesh area of each of these different presentations. So the mobile device is definitely, I would recommend as a second option. If you have a desktop computer or a laptop, the experience will be much more full from that because you'll be able to see more of the visuals of the virtual event environment. But everything with the exception of those games is still accessible on your mobile device. So that concludes everything that I wanted to review with all of you. And thank you so much for taking the time to join me for this tour. I was going to go to the chat here and see if we had a question. Yes, so Annalena, I did see that Eurotas used this environment as well. So I'm glad that you had a good experience navigating and participating in the Eurotas meeting. I think it was over the summer, if I remember correctly with this. Great. Okay. Well, this recording will be available afterwards later today. So if I was moving too quickly, I apologize, but you will be able to go back and rewatch parts of it or all of it to pick up any parts that you missed. And as I shared at the beginning, you'll all be receiving an email on Thursday, tomorrow, to be able to log in and kind of take a tour and test things out for yourself. So I am so excited to see you all this weekend, and thank you for joining us for the 2020 Virtual FOP Family Gathering. Great. All right, bye everyone.